Have you noticed this one toxic trait of today's society that it loves to drag down the name of women who are pretty and also successful? They love to find nuances that are really normal when it comes to other people, but when they find this flaw, not even a flaw, when they find this problem in a woman that's successful and pretty and all of that, people like to project that and make that single small flaw into something really big. For example, if this person doesn't like to mingle much, if she has a small circle, if she likes to be by herself, people call her a snob. Must be a bitch, right? She doesn't like a lot of people. She doesn't entertain a lot of people. When in fact, she just likes her own company. She has a small circle. She struggles with maybe trusting people. You never know. But women like this are judged. There are always strong opinions about such women. If she makes a woman, if she's high achieving, she's called a snob. She's called arrogant. She may be called somebody who looks down on people, is not humble. Her character is just painted like a villain. If she socializes a lot, she might be labeled as somebody who sleeps around, somebody who has a lot of boyfriends, somebody with a bad moral character. So there is always a strong character, a strong tag that is attached to a woman for just living her life like she wanted. Especially when a woman is independent, living alone, not with a man, she is labeled all kind of things. Because how can somebody live alone, happy with just her cats or whatever pet they have, and not have boyfriends, not have a bad personality, not have a bad moral, not have a bad character? How can such a person exist, right? People project so much. People project on single independent women so much that they think these people cannot come with a good character, that they think that these women cannot be high achieving. If they are high achieving, they must have done something to be at that position. If they look cute, they must be dumb, they may not have brains, and yeah, all sorts of things. So this is one very toxic trait that our society has, and it needs to be addressed. This is the kind of woman that struggles the most with finding the right person for herself. A lot of the times, a lot of men who are not so confident, these are usually the good ones who think they're not good enough, who are actually good if their character is good. They do not approach these high achieving women because they think their money is not enough, their living situation is not good enough. They do not have a good personality to like approach a woman like that, and all of those things. The kind of men that approach women like this are usually overconfident and delusional, and a lot of times toxic. These kind of men have no intentions of settling down with this woman. All they want to do is experience this woman, like get around her, experience this person, and get a high out of it, get a ego boost out of it, and then dump her into a dumpster, and then move along with their life, and then settle down with somebody on their own level. A lot of high achieving women go through these things because a lot of the men, the good ones don't approach her. The bad ones, the toxic ones, they enter their life just to get an experience. And during this time, they try to bring her self esteem down. They comment on her looks, on the way she speaks, on the way she dresses, the way she laughs, just about anything that they can use to bring this woman's self esteem down. Because when they see her down and unhappy and insecure about herself, they get a high out of it. So that makes them feel better, and that makes them feel like they can do something, not something they feel better about themselves by insulting women like that, by getting into a high achieving woman's life and dragging them down, and that gives them a ego boost. And these kind of men are very, very insecure within themselves. They think they do not deserve a woman who is a whole package. Somebody who's pretty, who's eye achieving, who is good with finances. They think they don't deserve a woman like that because they know within themselves they're not good enough. And it's not even about having materialistic things or having the best personality in the world. It's about having a good moral character and good self esteem. A lot of the toxic men come from fear and toxicity. And instead of looking at themselves and healing their self esteem issues, they project it and burden the other person with self esteem so that they feel better about themselves. These toxic men, they think disrespecting and insulting a woman like that is how you keep her around yourself, is how you control her. Because there is no other way she will settle down with you because you don't think highly of yourself. So insecurity is not only dragging these kind of men down, they're also dragging the women who are doing fine, even like thriving by themselves. They enter their life, ruin it, and then move on to somebody who's thriving to ruin their life again. Instead of looking at themselves, healing their own insecurities, own self esteem issues, they just move from woman to woman to woman and ruin their lives. There is a high tendency in these kind of men to hurt these women, to see them in pain, suffering, longing, in depression, in sadness, because that gives them a high boost. That tells them that they have these women right around their fingers, and that way they'll not leave. Instead of going down the right path by respecting the woman, by being loving towards her, being nice towards her, being courteous towards her, they choose the wrong path to approach these women. And eventually, a woman like that understands that thing and leaves this person's life. One thing I know about women is if they have allowed you in their life, they are very much interested in committing and seeing you as their life partner. Women take a lot of time to settle down or even call somebody their partner. They just don't look at somebody and go like, that's the guy I want, and I'll waste their time and then I'll move to other guy and then waste their time. Most women value their time, their bodies, their mental state, and settle down with the person that they think they deem worthy of their time and their energy. So the guy who's not giving her the same kind of respect, time, uh, energy is eventually wasting their own time and this woman's time. They are dealing with this insecurity that this woman would leave them. So they hurt the woman first, and then bolt out of that relationship instead of making it work. The men in this situation think that they do not deserve this kind of woman. So they come in, they hurt them, and then they bolt out of their life instead of making it work because the women have seen the value in this guy and that's why she approached him. But this man did not see the value in himself, and that's why he ran away. That is so sad. And these kind of men don't even realize that it's a sad thing that they're doing because there are so many like good women to jump to, but eventually you have to face yourself. How many women are you going to ruin like that? And for how long are you going to run away from your own insecurities? You have to face it someday. Why not today? Why do you think you don't deserve somebody good looking and high achieving and a well behaved woman? Why do you keep thinking that you deserve? I'm talking to men here. Why do you think you deserve somebody of low moral character? Somebody who doesn't take care of their body, somebody who's not high achieving, somebody who is not financially set by herself. Why do you go for women like that? Why do you think they are your type and not the one who's high achieving? Think about it. These kind of men also think that the only way to get a woman is by luring her into thinking that you have a lot of money. that these men have a lot of money, a good lifestyle, everything that a woman can want. They have all of that. They either lie about it or they actually have it. When toxic men actually have the things that they think the woman want, they are highly toxic. They're highly arrogant. They are the snob actually. And yeah, so they think the woman should run after them and not them approaching the woman with respect, and vice versa. And the ones who don't have these things but are still toxic, they will lie around these women. They will say, I have this house, I have this money, I have this career, I have this and that. No, whatever the woman wants to hear. And yeah, that's how they trap the woman and then experience her and then leave their life. A lot of women are also called gold diggers, but in fact, it's the guys who are the gold diggers who look for women who are ready to give their energy, their time, their value to them, and they just come there, lie around, use them, and then move on to the next woman. Use them, move on to the next woman. These are the real gold diggers. These are the problematic men that needs therapy, that needs help, that needs introspection, that needs meditation, that needs to sit with themselves and think what they're doing with other people's emotions and life. Karma eventually catches up. You will find that one person who will shatter your self-esteem, your everything in one moment. So do not go around hurting people. Look within yourself and see what you deserve and why do you think you can't deserve something. Ask those tough questions instead of just assuming things. Once you become aware of your internal, like the way you think and behave in certain situations, that's when you start actually making an impact in your own life. Say you don't want to approach somebody because you think she's high value, she's high maintenance and all of that, and you need to be high achieving to even get to talk to her. Write down that fact. Like, why do you think you need all these things to impress her? Why can't you just approach her? What is it that's causing you to not approach her? Maybe it is a bad experience that you've had, that somebody told you, you know what, you don't even have that bike, so I'm not even going to look at your face. Maybe you've had those bad experiences. And go back into that experience and tell yourself that it's okay to not have a bike, but have a good partner. It's okay to not have materials, but still have a good partner. It's your character that matters in the end. I am not saying, disclaimer, I am not saying money is not important. Money is very important. But when it comes to partnerships and relationships, you should not put money and materials in front of people, not just partners, in front of any person. Just because a person is not making enough money or as much money as you are making does not make them not worthy of being your friend. But if they have a bad character, if they have like robbing tendencies, if they steal things, they're poor, but they also steal things, that's when it's bad. Somebody is rich and they steal things, that's also bad. Somebody is humble but is nice, that's a good friend. So, materials does not make you a great person, and not having material does not make you a bad person. It's your character in the end. It's your passion that gets you a job. It's your hard work that gets you a job. It's consistency that gets you success, not any of these material things. When you lure girls or women with material, and if the girl is actually getting lured with the material, and if she's showing specific interest in the material, that means she's there for the material, not you. So as long as you have this material, the girl will be around. As soon as you lose it, the girl will be lost. You get the point? I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, so it's not the material that brings you the right person in your life. It is your own character. And somebody with a good character will be able to judge that good character. They will not judge you badly. They will understand what good qualities are, what truthfulness is, what loyalty is, what consistency is, and they'll value it. They'll not look for a house, a diamond ring, and all those things. I mean, It's good if you can bring that on the table, but it's not an absolute necessity. Okay. Lot of these women who are pretty also get approached a lot by men who are, approaching them for the wrong reasons. So they have this like poker face on their face all the time, most of the time. And they take their sweet time to open up. But a lot of guys who have insecurities, low esteem, who think they cannot get the woman that they want, they think this woman has attitude. They think this woman is a snob. They think this woman is arrogant and boastful and that only money can get her. Give her time to open up. A lot of people approach women. A lot of bad kind of people, older people, middle-aged men, a lot of people approach women. So she has this face to protect herself from such kind of men. And if you think she's being snobby or have an attitude problem because of that, you are totally getting her wrong. You have to give her time. Something you can give a woman to be, you know, to see you as a friend or to see you as a safe person is if you can make her feel safe. If you cannot make her feel safe, she will not be interested in being your friend and definitely not a partner. If you can make her feel emotionally, mentally, and physically safe, that's it. You have earned yourself the trust of a woman. Emotionally, meaning you will not abuse her once she opens up emotionally to you. You will not abuse her if she portrays her insecurities, her flaws in front of you. You'll not abuse that fact. You'll not use that against her. And physically, of course, if you're not, abusing her physically. So, yeah, these are the things that matters to a woman. Make her feel safe. That should be your first approach if you are trying to approach somebody like that. And then give it time. Give it time. Don't rush into things. Nothing comes from rushing into things. Nothing good comes. Oh my God, I'm getting a call. Give me a second. Yeah, nothing good comes from rushing into any kind of thing. Rushing into a job, you may not get exactly what you want. Rushing into a relationship, the person may be somebody entirely different than what you thought. Give it time. Go step by step. Take in the facts slowly. Understand the person slowly. Get to know their character, what they like, what they don't like, why they like something, why they don't like something, why they behave a certain way, why they do not behave a certain way. There are personality traits that takes time to understand. You just don't jump into relationships. You don't jump into jobs just because you're desperate for a job. I think I covered everything that I wanted to speak today. Yep, that's all I wanted to say for today. Let me know if this video resonated anywhere, if you think what I said was correct or incorrect, point out your views. I am totally open to like, listening to your views. And let's discuss. Let's make our society a little better. Let's take it towards perfection. Yeah, that's all I had for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye bye.